Welcome back to my channel, you guys. So I am going to be talking to you guys about this palette right here today. Now the reason I wanted this palette was because the greens in this palette are so pretty. I'll show like a little clip right here of what the eyeshadow looked like as she was swatching it. You'll see it right there. That green was the sole reason why I wanted this palette so much. I'm going to open it, I'm going to show you. This is what the packaging looks like. It's really pretty. They did a very good job on the packaging. And this, again, if you don't know, this is by Milk Cosmetics. So here is the palette. Here are the shades. So as you can see, they are, each pan is individually stamped as well. Okay. So I'm going to swatch Mean Green for you guys, which is this one, was that beautiful green I was telling you about as to why I wanted this palette in the first place. So we're going to swatch that one. Okay, so right off the bat, Pigmented, first of all. These feel like the butteriest eyeshadows I've honestly ever felt, to be honest. Let's see. That green is beautiful. Look at that. That is gorgeous. These feel extremely buttery. I really like the consistency of these shadows. They feel like they can be used with or without a brush. Just the consistency of it is beautiful. I mean, look at how much it's swatching off in pigment. They really blend really well as well. Okay, actually, you know what? That's not bad at all. That blends really nicely. Actually, this is only one even hit from the pan at spreading this out, and that's with my finger. I have not had an actual matte eyeshadow like that blends that well. That is magical, to be honest with you. I think so. Here's Sour Diesel. So that one, same way, blends out really well. Here is Black Widow. Look at that. Here is Granddaddy. I would say these are pretty much like pressed pigments, to be completely honest with you. I mean, most eyeshadows start out like a pressed pigment anyway. It just depends on how finely they press them into the actual pan. Pretty much all of these were pressed pretty well, but all of the shimmers look like they're all like finely pressed pigments, so that way they kind of, it seems like they're going to crumble a tiny bit, at least the consistency, but that's just what it looks like in the pan. They actually, when you put them on, they're very buttery and creamy, so they blend very well. This is Gravity OG. This is the last shade in the palette. I'm going to go ahead and just start playing with it, because that is the true way to tell how you feel about something. Not just swatching them. So blank out your eyes. This is just some of my Tarte Shape Tape. I do have eyelash extensions, so I'm not going to be using any false eyelashes today. As you can tell, I don't need them. They're already here, so we will use those. I'm going to use Sour Diesel on my crease, but I'm going to use that more to define my crease. I'm going to take a little bit of Hoola to start the crease, and then I will take a little bit of Sour Diesel afterwards to darken it. So I'm going to take some of Space Queen. This is a really tight packing brush, so we're going to use this to get right up into this crease right here. So we're going to take Space Queen again, like I said. get in there. This is a really pigmented palette. I'm already just telling you this right now. Very pigmented. That was probably way too much. I probably didn't need anywhere near that much, but let's go ahead. I'm going to start packing this right here in this bottom corner. Right here. I'm going to take this all the way to right here and stop here. I'm going to take Mean Green, I'm going to put that on the outer portion of my eye, and then I'm going to take some of Sweet Tooth right here, put that on the inner corner, and then I will take Blue Dream and I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my eye. So stay tuned! Okay. I will say though, because of the type of shadow these are, they do get a lot of fallout. I don't know if you can see that right there, how chunky the glitter in it is, but it blends down really, really nice. You just kind of have to have more of the packing brushes. There's that one. I'm going to take a little bit of Space Queen just on this brush right here, and I'm going to actually put that right next to my lash line on the back end, kind of feathering it upwards on my actual lash line, just so it's kind of blocking out any spaces where it looks like I might have skin, and just adds a little bit of depth and smokes out the lash line a tiny bit. To this side of my eye, and I'm going to clean off the bottom half of my face, and I'll be back to show you the rest of the eyes and start doing the foundation with this. I will say in some areas the green, the matte green that was in there, that it almost looks like really dark, almost like a midnight type of color, but it's a really dark green. It's really pretty. In some areas it was a little hard to blend, but I think it was just my eye. I think it was just me, but otherwise I'm excited. I really love it. They look really, really pretty. So the only other thing I added was I put a little bit of that matte green, the Space Queen, this one, right on my actual lash line just to kind of hide any, if there's like any gaps, if it looks gappy. So I did that. I'm gonna go ahead and do my foundation. I'm using some of the primerizer from Smashbox. So I'm gonna hope that this is actually my shade. I had them match me in the store as well, just because I wanted to make sure this was my shade. So let's hope it is and the lighting wasn't off in there. So the sponge is from Juno Co. It's a microfiber velvet sponge. It comes in a little baggie like this. They have everything on the back as well, explaining all about the sponge. It's latex free and it's cruelty free. When you open it, it has this little user guide. Actually, let's see what that says. It says use it wet to apply liquid foundations, concealers, and contours. It says use it dry to apply loose powders, blush, and highlighters. Now, because I did not know if this would be able to be used wet or dry, I did buy 2 of them. Let's go ahead and use one wet and use one dry. Let's see how they apply. I will do my foundation with the wet one first. So they feel really cool actually. So it feels really microfibery. It does. It's a very small sponge. It has a flat end right here. Flat end like this. They look like this. It's really cool. Ooh. Okay, I'm excited to play this. I'm gonna go get this wet and I will be right back. This is what they look like wet and dry. So here's the foundation. Let us go ahead and see what the claims are. So it says this is a weightless buildable foundation. It can be layered to medium or maximum coverage. It's supposed to be able to address both tone and texture. It also says it's never dull or greasy. So it says full coverage, velvet finish, moisture boosting hyaluronic acid. Also has antioxidant rich white birch extract. So this is gonna be like our little, what's it called, the like palettes. So let's see, I think this is a lock. Push it that way and then, oh yeah, I'm all scared.
A few moments later.
I just made a mess. Supposed to be up here. Okay, so my face is already primed. I'm just gonna put that right there because
oh honey,
I look white. Oh, okay, let's just go ahead. Just do it. Okay, you can do it. Just like this. That was 3 pumps. That was probably too much, but whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and use the sponge. Just dip it on in.
well, it is definitely full coverage. This sponge definitely gives you full coverage. But honey, this makeup artist in Sephora did not know how to match me.
I mean, at least I can blend it all the way down, but
damn, this is not my shade.
I mean, actually, you know what? This pats the concealer into the eye so beautifully. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna take some of that powder and start packing it underneath my eye. Now this is a really good sponge for baking. I'll tell you that right now. It gets right underneath and you can really make that precise line right there. I'm going to do around my nose because that's where I tend to crease real quick. That's the first area you can see it too from when I smile. Usually in the first 3 hours I can usually tell if a makeup is going to work for me or not because I'm very oily most of the time and that is just how my skin is. So if I start getting really shiny, I know that this is probably not going to be a foundation for me to be wearing for a very long time throughout the day, at least like more than a 12-hour day. but this foundation is not that. I will say though, I really like the way this sponge packed the powder into my skin. My skin looks like almost flawless right now, and I still have some acne and some texture coming up. That's fine, that's pretty normal on me, but like my skin looks like velvet, you guys. Like, it looks really pretty. Besides the fact that the foundation is too light, I can darken that down. It actually doesn't look too bad, but it looks really pretty. I would give it that. So, but I'm gonna let this bake. I will be back. I'll see you in a minute. So for my channel, I wanted to introduce a new rating scale for you guys. So this is just a rough copy. It's going to have a thumbs up, a thumbs down, and a side thumbs, just telling you that I really like it, and if I don't, and if it's just alright. So you'll see the box come up like it just did. I'll tell you my likes and my dislikes, and then tell you kind of overall how I'm feeling. So with the Melt Cosmetics, I liked it. I just wasn't a big fan of all the fallout. It's perfect on all skin tones, but otherwise I was a pretty big fan of the Melt Cosmetics. I was really excited for that one in the beginning anyway. But for the Beauty Blender foundation, it just isn't meant for my skin type. I have pretty oily skin, so it's pretty good for dry skin, just not for me. And then for the sponge, I loved it. The sponge was pretty good. It's perfect for the nook and crannies. Loved it. Everything was pretty good though overall. I do like the foundation. I don't know, well, the shade one was wrong, but that's besides the point. We did a pretty good job at matching it to my color anyway, and kind of bringing it down a little bit anyway. Otherwise, you can definitely tell it's a full coverage foundation. There are a couple areas that I'm looking at and through over here that are kind of starting to crease a little bit. But otherwise, everything looks pretty good to me. This is the look complete. I hope you enjoyed it. I love that palette, that eyeshadow palette, you guys. I love this. This is like one of my new favorites. If you guys liked this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. That way I know what you guys want to watch more of in the future. As well as make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, or if you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. That way you get notifications when I do upload. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in my next one. I love you guys. Bye.